What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Justin Ford Podcast, where I'll be releasing life-changing principles and valuable information focused on all things faith, finance, family, fitness, real estate, and so much more. Let's go! What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Justin Ford Unleashed Podcast. Super excited to have you here again today. Hopefully you've been doing great since the last episode. If you are enjoying the show, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right here on YouTube, or you can subscribe to your favorite podcast platform. And if you're really loving the show, do me a favor, go ahead and leave me a 5-star review. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can at the official Justin Ford. Again, at the official Justin Ford. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and also here on YouTube. Got another great episode in store for you today, but before we get into today's guest, I wanted to remind you that this episode is brought to you by my friends over at Next Door Lending. Next Door Lending is a team of professionals that believe everyone should be treated as if they lived next door. The founders and team members have more than 150 years of combined experience helping clients all over the country choose the best loan program to help you accomplish your goals. Next Door Lending is currently licensed in over 23 states and has a team of over 100 loan officers specializing in helping you get the best rate and terms. Whether you're looking to refinance your home or you're looking to purchase your next home, call my friends over at Next Door Lending today at 888-885-3667 or visit their website at nextdoorlending.com, and they will welcome you to the neighborhood. My special guest today is an amazing friend and rock star real estate agent and business partner at EXP, Amy Dunlap.
Thank you, Justin.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
Amazing.
Super excited to have you on today. And for those that are listening right now, this is going to be like a segment of where we feature icon rock star real estate agents like yourself.
It's exciting.
It is. And I'm excited to have you. Know what we were talking before the show started, and you said today is the day that 6 years ago today you got into real estate.
Yes. Six years ago today.
And we didn't even plan that.
No, we did not plan that at all. I passed my test. I remember calling you up and I was like, hey, Justin, I want to get into real estate. And he goes, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, do you want to be a realtor? I'm like, sure. I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
And then I took my first exam, state exam. I failed it, called you, and you said, well, congratulations on taking it 2 weeks after you passed the class. I'm like, he's like, you need to study. And I'm like, no, I don't study.
Yeah.
So I studied for a couple months and I passed it. Thank God.
And what was cool is, we have known each other for a long time. I think we're going on probably over 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Met a long time ago. Yep. How did we meet? Was it through Sean Kirkland?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we met.
Yep. Mutual friends.
Yep, mutual friends.
Yep.
We met. You're a believer. I'm a believer. We connected.
Yep.
And we've just stayed friends ever since. And at that time, you were in the banking business, right? You were in banking?
Yep, I was in banking.
Yep.
I have 20 years experience behind me.
Yep.
And the last couple of years were rough. And that's when I decided that I needed to just head on over and do something else with my path. And I actually always wanted to be in real estate for 10 years prior to approaching it with you. So, yeah, because
I remember when we met, Sean was working for me in the mortgage business. And so we were doing mortgages and, obviously I met you and you were banking. And then I had gotten my real estate license. I think it was back in 2013, but I was with Jeff Glover for 3 years.
Yeah.
But when I got my broker's license and started my own brokerage, that's when you had reached out and you said, well, hey, we talked about it for a while.
Yeah. And
you showed interest in it. And, I think it was, if 6 years ago, so that would be, what is that, 2017? 2017? Was it? Yeah. Yep. It's crazy how much time has gone by so fast. Yeah. But 2017, so I had already been, in business for about a year. Yeah. And then you're like, hey, I'm going to go take the class, which you did.
Yep.
And you were working full time.
Yep.
And you came to me and you're like, so yeah, I got my license now what? Right?
I had no idea.
And what's interesting is, even now, like I have a hard time working with new agents that have a full-time job and do real estate part-time because it's super hard.
Yeah.
And the majority of real estate agents don't make it.
Yeah.
Right? Like 9 out of 10 real estate agents are out of the business in their first 2 years. But you're like, no, I got this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've been self-sufficient. I remember my first showing ever.
Yep.
I walked up to the door and I was like, how do I get in the house? I'm like, I got a confirmed appointment and I called you. And I said, Justin, I don't even know how to get into the house. And he goes, well, there's a lockbox. And I'm like, well, what's a lockbox?
Yep.
And, I didn't want to let these clients know that I was a new realtor because then they probably really wouldn't use me. Right. Thank God I closed with them. But that was my first experience of opening a door. Yeah. So I always, the realtors that are on my team and I mentor them, I right from the get, I tell them how to use a lockbox.
How to use a lockbox, yeah. And so what was awesome though is your work ethic. You're a hustler, you're a go-getter, and that's obviously one of the things that I really admire about you because I'm a hustler, and so when you find other people who are hustlers, you're like, yes, that's how you do it, right?
100%.
And so you were working, you were working at the bank. What were your hours at the bank?
Sure. So my hours at the bank was like Monday through Friday, 7 to 3 or 6 to 3 or 2 or, some sort of schedule like that. I always had the early shift because I'd like to come in early, get my work done, have an hour lunch break. And then before you know it, I'm gone while everybody's still there working. So it was kind of cool. But for me being a realtor, I actually worked in between those hours. So I would go on my break. I would go on my lunch. I would do a lot of work after. It would be during weekends. So it's kind of as if I did, full-time realtor for the first year. And then I closed my first 3 deals. So once when I closed my first 3 deals in August, that's when I said, you know what, forget it. I'm going to go full-time. And I just quit my job and started.
Because I remember, it's because not only are you were working a full-time job, but you were also a mom, right?
I was a single mom.
Single mom at the time.
Single mom, and then got married. And, just doing that full-time. I had a couple other little side jobs that I was working just to try to make, ends meet. And, it's been an amazing journey for sure.
But what's amazing is, and even for those that might be listening that are thinking about getting into real estate or are currently in real estate and doing it part-time or having a hard time, the question that always gets asked to me is, what's a realistic expectation if I'm working full-time to get into real estate? And I tell people, and I always use you as the example. I literally do all the time. And I'm like, the average person is not going to make it. I think that they're not going to do what it takes to really create that success, because it wasn't like you were trying to do real estate as a part-time hobby. You're like, I want to do this full-time. And I told you, I'm like, you're going to have to grind. There's going to be a sacrifice. You're going to have to give it your all. But if you do that and you get a couple of closings under your belt, you can create success. And I remember you coming to me, and I've always said this, to people, is like, I would never recommend somebody to just quit their job and go into real estate full-time unless they have a lot of reserves, unless they have an additional income, or unless they're really willing to burn the boats and go all in. And you did that, right? You closed 3 and you're like, I'm ready to do this full time. I'm quitting my job.
I did.
And I supported you because it was you. You know what I mean? Because I knew that if you were going to burn the boats and you were going to quit your full-time job, you were gonna make it happen, because you were going to figure out how to be successful no matter what.
Yeah.
So what did that, how did that feel though? Like, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm quitting my job and I'm going into real estate full-time. Were you nervous? Were you scared? Like, what were you feeling and thinking when you were making that decision?
Sure. So when I made that decision, by that time I was actually married, and my husband, he said, you know what, Amy, you've been working in the corporate world for 20 years now.
Right.
You deserve a break. Sure. One of us, we do need to have a steady stream income, and, it is what we should be doing for the family. So I supported him, and I was okay with that. And he said, go ahead and quit the job. It's okay. And we've got this. It'll be all right. So he saw the value in me, and he trusted me as well. And, my feelings actually were quite amazing and really good. My parents are entrepreneurs. They also worked in corporate, and then they, switched over and did a couple entrepreneur jobs. And I think that, having their skills with my skills being 20 years in banking, I think that, that's how I've been able to be as successful as I have been, and, overcome my fears and my challenges. I mean, listen, I sat and I was the assistant for all the loan officers at major banks. And, I was able to listen to them, and I was able to hear them overcome all their different things. And I was able to hear the underwriting team and just hear all their experiences. And that way I was able to know how to line up my business and how to, overcome obstacles.
Yeah. Which is awesome, because that 20 years that you spent was almost like a training ground for what you're doing today. Yep. And I look back to all the things that I did leading up to real estate. It was all a training ground, right?
Yep.
And so you step out, you're going in full time, and you just hit the ground running. Like literally you became, when you were working for me at Encore, the number one agent in the office, because you were determined that you were going to be number one. That's what again I love about you, because I'm the same way. And you just crushed it, and you were like, oh my gosh, this is like a whole new opportunity in a whole new world. You really started going out there and branding yourself, right? You started, you've got some marketing, and I'll have you share with what you do, some of that stuff, and really just started building your business. And being a real estate coach, I see everybody builds their business different, right? Everybody, does things a different way, or create success this way, or whatever. What would you say has helped you create the success that you have? Because you make well over 6 figures every year. I know you're not a numbers girl, so if I said how many homes are you selling, you're like, I don't know. I just sell them, and I show up at closing, and I just make it happen. Yeah. But you're crushing it. Like what do you say has helped you with the success that you've been able to create? Because everybody has their own way of doing it, and you do yours a special way.
Sure. So utmost, the first thing is God. I'm a believer. Amen. And, he's been the one that I've always looked to help me through thick and thin. I trust in him. I believe in him. He gives me dreams and visions. I ask him, God, help me with every deal. I pray for strategy and strategic ways. Sometimes I'll dream about it. The next stop would be my family. My family is a huge supporter of, what I do and how I run my business. And you actually had taught me that, which again, you are a good, person as well. You've been my number one supporter always. You're quick to answer my phone call. I mean, you trained me, I was in your office for almost a whole year downriver. And,
that was a long drive for you, by the way.
It was a very long drive, over an hour drive. But we made it.
Commitment.
A couple times I'd go to church during the week, coming and going. And it was a lot of fun. But those were the times that really has, helped train me and motivate me and got me to where I am today. And I still use all those tools and values and keys. And I mean, I love cold calling, and I'll be honest with you, I have not probably had a really good cold calling session since I've been down there in Allen Park.
Well, and you were always great at it, because you'd get on there and you'd just crush it and make
Smile
it happen.
And dial the whole day long.
and that's how I built my business. And, everybody has a different way of building their business and their strategy. And, what I've always done is I've just taught people the way that I've been taught. Jeff Glover taught me this is how you do it. And so that's what I turn around and do, is teach agents how to do it. Right. And so you were with me for about a year, and then you decided, what, I need to go somewhere a little bit closer, because you were coming from Lake Orion all the way down to Allen Park. And that's a long drive. And I remember you're like, you know what? It's been great. I love you. But I have to kind of step out and take this next step of my journey. And I know for me, because I love the people that I work with. I love you. And we built, when we were at Encore, we had a really cool, special group of people. And, I learned early on as a business person, and now I see it totally differently, is when you're training people and coaching people, a hustler like you or like me eventually is going to move on to that next step. Right. And I remember when you left, it was difficult, because I loved the relationship we have, it didn't change because you left, but when you see somebody go, you're like, man, I really invested a lot of time and effort. And it's like a pastor, right? A pastor never wants to see a congregate leave. But when God says it's time to go, it's time to go. So you went on to another company. Okay. What company did you go to?
I went to Dobie, a little boutique office in Birmingham.
And you were there for how many years?
About 2 years.
And you crushed it there.
I did. Number one realtor.
Which is not surprising. You continued down the same path, the work ethic, keeping your faith, family supporting you, and really went out to crush it. And then back about 2 years ago, right? I moved, was it 2020? 2 years ago, I moved over to EXP, and you and I were talking, and I know you were like, you know what? I think it's time for me to take my next step. You joined EXP, and you've crushed it at EXP as well. What made you come to EXP?
So that's a great question. So when I left Encore, I always had it in the back of my mind. I was talking to some people.
Because EXP was kind of new back then,
and I had it in the back of my mind that if somebody approached me to join EXP, I would join them. And it was just something that had come up in a conversation, something
Right.
that triggered. And I'm not one to like move around, one
Right.
to like, continuously jump jobs or places or
Right.
brokerages or
Right.
anything like that. So that's definitely not me. But when I make a decision, I make a decision.
Right.
So I just knew that moving over to EXP was going to be the way at some point, but I wasn't going to do it just to do it. And I wasn't going to sign up with just anybody.
Just anybody.
So when I heard that you had signed up for it and, you joined, I was like, okay, my interest was piqued, but then I didn't want to do it right away because I wanted you to be able to, help show me how it all works. So I wanted you to like work through all the kinks within your business, within yourself, and then have me join on.
And you did. You came in, I'd say, when did you join? Like mid 2021? Was it maybe spring or summer of 2021?
I think it was actually you were only there for like a month or so.
Oh, so you came in right after
You were
that.
brand new. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were new into
So it
it.
didn't
So I
take
started
long.
a whole new year because I didn't want to go
that's right. Yep.
a year. Yeah. So actually my start date is March, really.
March.
So I think I inquired in January maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then you came over because I knew when I went over everything with you, it just made sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that you'd be an icon agent based on your production. Now I know you're not really a numbers person, but I think you're doing 15, 20 million, somewhere in that range, right?
Yep.
So I knew that you were coming over and that you would fit the icon model, which you've hit icon twice now, right? Yep. So you're an icon agent twice. And it just made sense for you to come. And even though my Encore model was not set up to allow top agents like you to build your own business, because it was more like a team thing. When I went to EXP, for you to come back, and not just you, but multiple people who left Encore have come back because obviously you saw the value in partnering with me, being in business with me, because we don't look at it. It's not like you're on my team and you work for the Justin Ford Real Estate team.
Correct.
You have your own team, which is called
Amy Dunlap team.
The Amy Dunlap team, brokered by EXP.
Yep.
But yet we have this bigger family that we're all a part of together, where we can, lock arms together, work together, and win together. And now we're like business partners within the EXP model.
Yes.
You're building your business, I'm building my business, but we're working towards something so much bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How has it been so far?
Amazing.
2 years now, almost for EXP.
It has went by so fast.
I know, it's crazy.
I've taken, what I've learned with Encore. I've taken what I've learned with Dobie. I've taken what I've learned with my business previous experiences. I mean, I was a top producer, seller back in my teenage years, selling these cute little $1,000 puppies, you know, and I would sell everything in the store. So before they know it, they walked out of the store.
Everywhere Amy
with
goes,
like
she wins.
everything. And I was like,
I love it.
I was 15, 16 years old. It was like so bizarre. But so that, I mean, I just take all my knowledge of everything I've ever learned and really pour it in. But I think number one, too, is you have to show up every day. You have to be present every day. It's on my mind 24/7 every day. I'm upfront. I'm honest. I'm reliable. I'm dependable. Somebody actually just the other day, I picked up my phone and they said, Amy Dunlap, you answer your phone on the first ring. That's what it is in this business. That's what you need. There's so many realtors out there. There's so many people out there that just do not answer the phone. And sometimes it's kind of like irritating for me because I'm there and I'm present, but then I try to show grace on the other side because I'm like, I don't know what obstacles they have. I don't know if they have a day job. I don't know. So I try to, give them a little grace and be understanding.
And you know what's awesome about what I love about your work ethic as well is you make it happen. Even though you live in Lake Orion, you're selling homes downriver. You go everywhere. Yeah. Because that's how I do it, right? And I taught you that, like, you go get business wherever. Yeah. And you've got relationships and connections all throughout, Metro Detroit and Michigan. So you go everywhere. Yep. Whereas a lot of real estate agents, and not to knock them, like, I'm only doing this price point. I'm only doing this area. I'm not going outside of that other area. And that's been able to help you really build a big business to where, you're doing deals all over the place. Yes,
I am doing deals all over the place. In a previous life, I've lived with 13 years. I've moved 15 times, one of them being up in Grand Rapids. So actually this last year, I closed a couple deals up there. Today I'm headed out in that area as well, actually. But no, I mean, I'm licensed in Michigan. I can go all over Michigan. And if it's a spot I'm not familiar with, well, I'll take the time to get familiar with it. There's Google. There's all sorts of different ways and keys to be able to do that. But I do like my home area, like everybody does, right? So I do hit and market brand myself in my community. Recently, some people have said that I'm an icon in the community, but I'm like, not really.
Well,
I don't look at myself like that, but I'm like, okay, whatever.
But once you start getting recognized and noticed in the community, you don't think that about yourself, but people see you as that. What are some of the things you're doing in the local community? Because you got some cool things you're doing.
I have done so many different things. So my husband has a sports background. He has wrote on a lot of the high school kids. So he's known in the community. So that kind of helped me to be able to move over in that. I've marketed myself in some of their like hockey brochures. I've had banners at the baseball fields. I've had the shopping carts.
So if you go into Kroger, there's Amy on your shopping cart.
During COVID, my face was all over those shopping carts, and everybody needed groceries at that time. Now I've moved on to the little store dividers,
the
which is
divider
amazing.
that you put down between the two, like
the
if
food.
someone, the food, on the little thing,
and I always go in there and arrange them, so like my face is showing.
I love that. No, that's awesome.
So I've done that before. I am actually going to go on a billboard at some point.
Awesome.
I've been, kind of canvassing and, looking into that a little bit. I actually do a lot of farming. So I have a lot of mailers that go out to everybody in the community. And I just continuously check in places. I do reviews on places. I do little photos and, just support small business. That's really what it's all about, and just try to make good, really, strong connections in the community.
You're in the game, right? And that's what it takes for real estate, is to be present, to be active, to be moving, to get out there and build the relationships, have the conversations. And I think that's one of the things that's created so much success for you, is you're just, you call yourself the Zooming real estate agent, because you're always Zooming, you're always going. And that's what it takes to win in real estate, right? And I love that you came into the business part-time, right? Working a full-time job, being a single mom. And you said, you know what? I'm going to be successful, right? And you did whatever it took to be successful. And here you are today as an Icon agent, 2 times at EXP. And, for those of you guys that don't know about EXP has this program for agents that if you hit your cap and then you sell 20 more homes, you're an Icon agent, right? And an Icon agent is the highest basically ranking or achievement you can receive as an agent selling homes at EXP. And you've done that twice. And one of the things that you have to do in order to qualify for the full Icon is you either have to teach classes, because they want you to give back to the community of real estate agents at EXP, or be a mentor. Which path did you choose?
Mentor.
I
love mentoring. I mean, I could easily teach classes. I should probably do that this year, sign up for it, but I love helping people out. I love mentoring. Right. I love training. Not even if I need anything, get anything back for myself. I just love pouring into people, just to be nice to do that.
And that's what I love about the Icon program, because I love to speak and I love to train. So that's the path I took. And you get paid to do it. Which is crazy. Like, it's a part of your compensation by hitting Icon. You get awarded your $16,000 back in the form of stock. And this is like the perfect time to be awarded the stock, because it's low right now, because the stock market's low, and it just continues to grow. And you earn this for doing what you love. Like, you're already going to sell homes. Might as well get awarded for it, right? You love helping people. Don't even need anything in return, but EXP says, I'm going to award you for doing that as well. Right? And now, so you were selling real estate as a solo agent for a while, and then you came to me and you're like, I want to start a team. I'm like, start a team. You're like, what should I call it? Call it the Amy Dunlap team, right? Just like mine's the Justin Ford real estate team. And so how many agents do you have on your team right now?
Right now, I have a total of five people,
agents.
I believe, and one actually is out there waiting to be approved. So we're going to have a welcome for that, probably within the next week or so.
Nice. What are your goals with that? Because I know, like, when you're a salesperson like me, and you love to sell, and you're Zooming, and you're going, sometimes it's hard to slow down and build, because you know that I can control this, I can sell homes, and I can make money. And so what are your goals with, like, building a team? I know you said you want to get your broker's license. You want to look to get licensed in Florida, because you have a home in Florida. So what are your goals of, like, because I know once you become successful in real estate, you start attracting people.
Correct.
Right? So now you're attracting people. You got people on your team. Like, what are some of the things that you want to accomplish as a team leader?
Sure. So things to accomplish as a team leader. Actually, last year I had canvassed our area and was going to open up an office in her area.
Yep.
But however, another EXP person, broker associate, had already opened up one. So I was like kind of bummed about that.
Yeah.
So I was excited for it. That might be a goal that I have in the future.
Nice.
But, I just love to just grow each individual, however it is that they want to grow, whether it's just working a full-time job or, I have some people on my team that want to get out of their current entrepreneurial situation that they're in and, actually go full-time into being a realtor. So, that would be my goal really, is just to meet people's needs where they're at, just to help them out. Eventually, I do want to get my realtor license in Florida, as you mentioned. That is what I want to do. I'm going to pass my broker test probably some point this year after I study. That's key.
Yeah, you got to study.
I don't study, I don't read, but PSI just got an app. So I've downloaded that and I'm going to study on the app.
That's great.
That'll maybe help out.
And if anybody can teach a new agent how to transition from working full-time into real estate full-time, it's definitely you.
Thank you.
For those that are listening right now, because we might have agents that are listening who are full-time agents or people who are looking to get in the business or part-time agents that are maybe looking to join a team.
Sure.
And what areas do you primarily cover? I know you're everywhere, but where are you located?
Yeah, so my home office is Lake Orion, Oxford. That's where I am located at. And, I do travel all over, like what we had mentioned. Typically, primarily, I would have to say from, north to south really is what I cover. North, south, a little bit east, a little bit west. But,
she covers everywhere.
I mean, I don't want, it's like a loaded question, right? Because I'm headed a couple hours north today. So I'm like,
so you're everywhere.
I am.
So if somebody wants to learn more about the Amy Dunlap team, right? Maybe it's an agent who's like, you know what, I'm struggling. I wanna transition and go full time. How can somebody get a hold of you? Like, what's the best way for someone to reach out to you?
Sure. The best way would be my cell phone.
Okay.
As we always have it, or at least I always have it.
I do.
One time, I know, right? One time my husband said, we went up north, we were on a trip and he was like, Amy, you need to put your phone down. And I was like,
it's tough to do.
Put my phone down. And he's like, we're going on a kayak. You have to put your phone down. And I had to shut
and he's
it off.
doing deals in the water.
And I had to leave it right at my shoes. And I'm like, oh my God, my heart dropped at that hour.
It's tough.
Literally. But I had to learn how to balance it. I have to my husband has to be happy. My kids have to be happy. So, that's another thing. You have to learn how to balance everything, you know. But how people can reach me, number one, I have to say the cell phone. So my number is 248-798-0517. Again, 248-798-0517.
What's your email address?
Yep, I got my email, a couple of them, but the good one would be Amy, AMY, and then @ and then it's my first and last name, which is Amy Dunlap, AMYDUNLAP, and then team, TEAM.com. So Amy at AmyDunlapTeam.com.
So if you're an agent and you're looking to, find a great mentor, because you're an amazing mentor, you're looking to get into real estate, maybe you're looking to, explore EXP. And what I love about EXP is this, when someone decides to partner with you, they're also partnering with me, right? Like it's a win-win
100%.
situation. Yep. And I know a lot of agents are exploring EXP. We're growing rapidly. We're over 86,000 agents. We're growing. I think we're in 25 countries.
Yep.
So we're not just limited to having an agent on our team just here in Michigan, but somebody can partner with us all over the world. And so if you're interested in talking to Amy about EXP, or even if you're a buyer or a seller and you're looking to buy or sell a home, really anywhere in Michigan, reach out to Amy because she is a rock star.
Thank
and
you.
She's doing some big things.
Yeah, they can even reach out to me if it's Florida or another state too, because we can help them out as well. We have lots of partners around the world.
Yeah. And speaking of Florida, you just last year, was it a year ago or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
You bought a home.
Yep.
Condo. Yep. What area?
Bradenton, Sarasota area.
Yep.
Right in the middle.
And I remember when you said you were going to do that and you were talking about it, and then Amy doesn't talk about things for very long. If she talks about it, she's taking action. So she's like, I think we're going to get a house in our condo in Florida. And then the next time I talk to you, we just closed on our condo in Florida. And so you bought a condo in Florida. How's that been going?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. We make about $5,000 a month.
Airbnb?
Yep. Well, no, actually I manage it myself because, I don't want to give away money.
Right, right. So you do it yourself.
I do it myself. Yeah.
And then you guys go down quite a bit. You were just down there.
Yeah. We go down there when we want to. We try and average about maybe 3 or 4 times a year. I would love to go there full time.
Yeah.
But we still have kids in elementary school and high school. So it's not there yet, but that's okay. We'll get there. And the more I go, the more I probably want to buy another one, actually. This last trip.
A lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
Joy and I are looking into one. Yeah.
It's fun. It's really good. It's addicting, actually. I think we're averaging maybe 1 home a year.
Wow. So you're making about $5,000 a month, which is more than paying for any costs or fees that you have for it, right? So it's a profit, right? You're making profit, and you're using it as a place to go when you guys want to go to Florida.
Yep. So we don't have to pay for hotel stay.
Right.
And
you got a
it's
car
about an
down
hour
there.
and a half from Disney, so
That's
it's not
so
too bad.
awesome.
Yep. I purchased a vehicle, convertible
drop top.
Camaro.
You got to have a convertible down there.
I did that. Yeah.
And so that's just a part of your real estate, right? Like it's an investment into your real estate portfolio, which I'm sure you guys are going to continue to grow. So even if someone wanted to reach out to you about that and learn how to successfully manage their own, rental property, Airbnb, stuff like that, how you do it as a vacation rental, they can reach out to you about that as well, right?
Yes, 100%. And I do have some other places here local within Michigan too that I help manage as well. And even my husband and I, we've had some, but we've sold those as well. You were actually a realtor for one of the homes.
I was your real estate agent before you guys got into real estate, which is awesome.
That was so funny.
And you're just doing some big things, and I think it's awesome. And I really wanted to have you on the show to highlight your success. I'm super proud of you. You're doing a great job, and I know that you've just got great things in store for you in the future.
I appreciate it.
Any closing remarks or tips that for those that are listening right now that are in real estate, maybe they're struggling, right? Maybe they're just trying to get started, or maybe they're thinking about getting into real estate. What would you say are like 2 to 3 things that you could give to those that are listening right now, just encouragement or something that they can really do starting today that could really help them take off?
I would say stay positive. Don't give up on your dreams. There's a reason why you felt like that. Yep. I mean, had I have not, followed through my dreams in the last, 10 years that I had, the whole decade of thinking about it, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So continue on with whatever their thoughts and dreams are, their visions, and just continue to stay true to themselves, and just to continue to, just give thanks to God every day for waking them up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm proud of you. Like I said, Amy, I appreciate you coming on the show today. And again, how can someone reach you? What's your email address?
Yes. Email address, Amy at amydunlapteam.com, AMY at AMYDUNLAPTEAM.com.
You're also on Instagram.
Yes, Instagram, Amy Zumi.
Amy Zumi. You're also on Facebook.
Yep, Amy Dunlap, AMYDUNLAP.
And your number one more time.
248-798-0517, 248-798-0517.
Guys, reach out to Amy. I put my stamp of approval on Amy. She is absolutely not only an incredible friend, but she's an incredible agent and person all around. And when you work with Amy, you'll definitely have a great experience. And so make sure you reach out to her. And if you also want to know about how to successfully run a short-term rental, she's your girl to learn more about. Amy, thank you so much for being here. Guys, again, this has been another great episode here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This episode is brought to you by my friends over at Next Door Lending. Next Door Lending is a team of professionals that believe everyone should be treated as if they lived next door. The founders and team members have more than 150 years of combined experience helping clients all over the country choose the best loan program to help accomplish your goals. Next Door Lending is currently licensed in over 23 states and has a team of over 100 loan officers specializing in helping you get the best rate and terms. Whether you're looking to refinance your home or you're looking to purchase your next home, call my friends over at Next Door Lending today at 888-885-3667 or visit their website at nextdoorlending.com. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Feel free to go ahead and share this with your friends and family. You can hit the subscribe button. And as always, I love to end the show with these 2 things. Number 1, it's not how you start. What matters is how you finish. And number 2, with God, all things are possible. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.